Members, happy Monday. For today's video, we're going to do a Mobility Monday installment. So we're just going to take our time and slowly work up the body, working on mobilizing our joints. This is a great way to warm up, a great way to get the blood flowing, get the lymph system going again. We're going to go ahead and start with our ankles. So a few weeks back, probably 3 weeks now, I showed you all a ankle mobility test, which was put your thumb and your knuckles against the wall, you place your foot that far away from the wall, and then you try to get your knee to touch the wall without your heel coming up off of the ground, right? So whether or not you passed or how well you did with that, this is a great ankle mobility test to increase your mobility in your ankles. So what we're going to do is you're going to go ahead and get into either a lunge or a squat, depending on what you can do. If you have a weight, that can help sometimes. And you're just going to hold the weight on your knee, and you're pretty much just going to rock over, forward, and you're going to move your knee around. Now the goal here is, I'm outside, so I have shoes on. You can keep your your shoes off. You can have your bare feet while you're doing this, and you just want to work it through the range of motion. So I'm going to hold it, and I feel a stretch in my calf here because I'm putting some downward pressure on my knee, and it's really stretching out my calf. Right, and then I'm going to go off to the side a little bit, right? I'm going to try to keep my heel planted on the ground while I do that, right? So I'm just moving that knee and the ankle through its articulation, okay? So now we can't do much knee mobility because it's not supposed to be a mobile joint. The knee only moves in one plane of motion. So if it's too mobile at your knee, that's not great. That's how we get injured. So what we're going to do next is a hip mobility. So this is called the 90-90 hip mobility test, and what we're going to do is you're going to sit on the ground. You're going to set your body up so you're at about 90 degrees on each side, right? So my right leg is making a 90-degree angle here, and my left leg is making a 90-degree angle here, and they're pretty similar. Now, you may realize that just sitting in this position is tough. I did my leg workout yesterday, which was a lot of squats, and I'm feeling that a lot in my hip here, so I'm already kind of bending over a little bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to dig your heels into the ground, and you're going to roll up and over, okay? So the goal is you're ending in the 90-90 stretch. Again, my hip internal rotators are pretty tight there, so I'm going to show you a little bit different angle, okay? So we're going to start here, okay? So I have my 90 degrees here on this leg. I have my 90 degrees here. Keep your head up and your chest up. You can reach your arms forward if that helps. And you're just going to up and over. Same idea the other way, okay? Up and over. Now you can do this as many times as you would like. Do it as many times as you need to feel warmed up and loosen the hips. You may find that it's pretty uncomfortable and you need to take a couple shots at it. So just relax, spend some time with that movement, and let me know how it goes. The next stretch is actually a two-part stretch we've done before. It's a hamstring to a hip flexor stretch. So what we're gonna do with this is you're gonna straighten your leg out and go ahead and touch your toe. From here, you're going to shift your weight forward into that leg. Push back, sit. So here I'm stretching my hamstring out, trying to keep a nice flat back. And then after this, I slide my hips forward, keeping my chest upright, getting a nice hip flexor stretch, okay? So you're gonna go about 10 to 12 pass-throughs on each side and see how that feels. So for the next movement, we're going to be working on a spinal wave. So you're going to get into a high plank position and move into a downward dog stretch. From there, you're going to roll your spine out into a cobra stretch and back, right? So you're gonna start with a high plank here, okay? You're gonna go up into downward dog. And you're pretty much gonna roll that all the way down into a cobra stretch. Pick your head up, drop the shoulders all the way up, back, downward dog, okay? Now you can work on that. Just whatever makes you feel comfortable. If you feel tightness in a certain point, so for example, I felt very tight in the downward dog position, again, because I just did my leg workout yesterday, a lot of squats. So I would spend a little bit more time in that position as opposed to the entirety of the spinal wave. So after that, we've worked on our ankles, our hips, our back, abs, shoulders a little bit we've started to work on. Next, what we're going to do is a shoulder sweep. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take that same shoulder sweep that we've been working on the past couple weeks, and we're going to do it standing upright. So you can find a wall or something, a flat surface, and you're just going to trace the wall with your arm all the way up, all the way back, okay? Now, if I don't have the wall here and I do it straight on, the wall would be here, but since I don't, you're going to notice my arm passes out like into the wall just a little bit. That usually means that my pec can be a little tight or I have a restriction in the range of motion. The advantage to doing it on a wall is that it forces my hand behind me and it may engage that pec in a stretch that I haven't done before. So highly recommend you do that one with a wall, 10 on each side. So backward and forward is 1. So you're doing 2, 3, all the way up to 10, and spending time in areas of tightness and discomfort. So after that, you're going to do a thoracic spine movement. So you're just going to stand up nice and tall, and you're just going to rotate all the way back and all the way forward. Okay, so we're going to stand upright, nice and tall. And again, if you have a broomstick or a golf club and you want to change this into a golf movement, you can go ahead and twist here to lock your hands together and just work on twisting without the hips. And then you can add some hips in if you'd like, right? Welcome back.
Yes, nice to be here. Good to see you.
All right, that's our exercise for the day. Have a good one.